I'm going to go ahead and just get started. I've got Dawn from The Minimal Mom on there giving me my inspiration. It's January 2021 and I'm participating in the Clutter Free January series. And I have a long way to go, so we're going to get cleaning. It's a total and complete disaster. Although I'm super embarrassed to say that I already actually spent some time cleaning it, and I'm going to set the timer. I have about 45 minutes before I have to go pick my kids up from school, so wish me luck. All right, let's get this party started. You go, girl. I love watching myself clean in fast motion. It's so much more fun than in regular motion. Oh yeah, my daughter didn't finish her oatmeal that morning, asked me to save it for her for an after-school snack, so getting that put away. And now, yeah, you better roll your sleeves up. Yeah, I'm gonna do some hand washing. We have chickens, so we save our egg cartons. We keep them up on top of the fridge for now, but boy, I hate seeing them up there. But that's what we've been doing for now. And getting stuff all washed. Oh yeah, I've got my bleach container. Yeah, my daughter's thermos from school. Any of you have kids bring home thermoses and then on a Friday they forget to give it back to you so you can wash it, and then by Sunday night when they pull it back out it's all moldy? Yeah, we had a little of that action going on. So I'm bleaching that. And I'm just doing a lot of general tidying at this point. I know everybody says they have a small kitchen, but sometimes I think I really do have the smallest kitchen in the world. You're looking at the entire... Oh yeah, I remember those. Those were some Christmas cupcakes that were at least a week old. And I'd like to tell you that I wasn't tempted to eat those, but I pushed those way down into the garbage can because I love my cupcakes and I seriously thought about eating those. But let's face it, it's January and this is a weight loss and health reboot as well as a house reboot. Putting my blender up on top. I had to get a new top for my BlendTech blender. They were an awesome company to work with. They sent me a new one when the old one that I had cracked. Getting my coffee put away. I have a couple hooks up there above my sink where I keep my measuring cups. Oh yeah. Yeah, my new hand mixer got the better of me. Here I am struggling to figure out how to put that thing back together. I'm not a brain surgeon. Ooh, success. So I've got one cabinet up above my microwave. I can't reach it without a step stool, but I'll bring one in there and put the appliances that I don't use as often on there. I'm trying hard not to keep as much on my counters, but I'm just a messy person and I'm visual and I tend to leave everything out, but lately I've been hating the way it looks, so I'm going to go through my utensils, try to pare those things down a little bit, figure out which ones I need, figure out which ones are duplicates. I'm giving myself permission to get rid of the really cheap ones or the broken ones. I tend to be a hoarder, so even if it's broken, I think, oh, I can still use this spatula when none of my other spatulas are around. Meanwhile, I have 3 other ones that work just fine. Oh yeah, I'm going to get rid of that knife cover. Any of you get those knives with covers, but none of the rest of your knives have covers, so you can't keep the knives loose in a drawer anyway? I only have one knife with a cover. If all my knives had covers, maybe I'd keep it, but I gave myself permission to throw that in the garbage right in there with the cupcakes. That's a big step for me because that had been hanging around for quite a while. Just try to get those counters cleaned off and cleaned up a little bit more. Oh, thank goodness. Clearing the view here. I had a bunch of dishes drying on my stove, which I've been using as a drying rack lately because I don't actually own a drying rack because I never hand wash dishes if I can avoid it. But with a broken dishwasher, I am. I've been using the dishwasher as a drying rack for the smaller items and the stove as the drying rack for my bigger items. So I'm going to go ahead and put these things away now. You'll notice I really only have this little area of upper cabinetry. I've got the one cabinet that I'm loading all my cups, mugs, bowls, plates, dishes, and water bottles into. That's the entirety of them. And then I have the corner cabinet to the left with a turntable, but it wasn't built well, and so the shelves allow me to put very little onto them. The last house I lived in had an upper turntable too, but it was much more efficient and easier to access and could accommodate a lot more items. This one can't accommodate very many, and I use the two corner cabinets, the upper and the lower, as my pantry space, and then I have the one upper cabinet for almost all of my dishes, and then I have the lower cabinet that you can see next to the fridge for my storage containers. All my Tupperware type stuff, my Rubbermaids, everything. So it leaves me with very little room for a family of 4 to manage all of our stuff. But I've been living in this house for a little over a year, and I'm starting to figure it out. I'm feeling better about it these days. Now this is the part where I always start to kind of falter in cleaning. There I am, making sure I keep my inspiration going. After I get a lot of the mess clean, I'd say 75-80% of the cleanup done, I tend to just stop. And I have trouble bringing myself to go this next step to actually clean off everything, get it all the way down to the bare countertops, make sure everything's been dusted and tidy, and then put everything back the way I want it, nice and clean. I love my cup hooks back there behind me, and that one mug that I have hanging from my mug hook is just cracking me up as it just wobbles and dangles there for the longest time. I didn't even notice it when I was cleaning at the time, that it was still jingling along up there like some kind of jingle bell. Anyway, it's cracking me up in retrospect now. Still going. But I'm trying to get all my surfaces really, really clean, even the walls. Kids spatter spaghetti sauce and I spill coffee and everything. On my counter right now, I'm keeping my food scale. I've got my French press from that morning, some coffee beans, and my coffee grinder. My plant obsession up on the windowsill, I'm not really making much progress with because I do love my plants, so I'm tending to leave all those there, but I'm finally getting the garbage emptied out and trying to reboot so I can start out getting everything put in its right place and everything cleaned correctly once my kids come home and we have dinner, so they can throw out trash, do their own dishes. And I thought I'd finally tackle the fridge as well, because I'm one of those people who wears the slob goggles, I think is what Dana from A Slob Comes Clean calls them. My messy goggles or my slob goggles mean that I don't even notice the front of my fridge anymore. Stuff's been up there for months or even years at times, and I don't even realize what's on the front of my fridge and how messy it looks. The top of my fridge is the same way, and you can see I even have some food items stored on the top of my cabinets. I just don't even notice them. But I'm trying to make myself step back and look at all the different things that keep it messy and tackle those things first. I have this kitchen island that's a complete disaster too, so I'm going to go ahead and hit that. Like I mentioned, I moved into this house about a year ago, and ultimately I'd love to redo the kitchen from top to bottom. And I just have this little IKEA kitchen cart that gives me some extra countertop space and allows me some prep area, but it's also a catch-all and we all throw our stuff on it. I love how I found those rubber gloves for cleaning after I'd done most of the scrubbing in the rest of the kitchen. That's hilarious. Fruit, veggies, paperwork, all kinds of stuff gets dropped on this butcher block. It's just an old one. I have to scrub it down with lemon juice and salt every so often to get it sanitized. I'm not going to do that today. Today I'm really focused on decluttering, and I love how I've got the minimalists going in the background on my tablet back there to continue to inspire me to try to pare things down. As you can see, I have that rack to the left that is a total disaster. I'm going to try to tackle that next. I'm not going to be able to do that today, but in my next video, I hope to make some progress on that as well. So I'm really going to be working on just getting everything tidied, and here's my finished product. I am feeling pretty excited about it. I was able to do all this in about 45 minutes before I had to go pick my kids up from school, and it looks and feels so much better. I still have areas of mess like up on top of this fridge that I need to deal with the clutter, but the countertops are looking so much better. I'd like to figure out a neater solution for my plants in that windowsill, but I do love my plants. I have a lot of other areas like these spices that need to be minimized and decluttered. The plastic bags there by the fridge. In just the 45 minutes that I had, I feel like the kitchen is a lot more functional and I can use it. I threw a bunch of stuff away. I also donated 1 or 2 things, but mostly I just trashed extra stuff that I didn't need. I put a lot of the seasonal items that I use around the holidays for my baking back up in that little black cabinet on top of the microwave using my step stool. I pulled out some new hand soap that smelled really good that I got as a gift, so that's ready for me on the sink. And I feel like when I go to cook dinner tonight, I'm going to have so much more prep space. I even like the way my fridge looks better. And in this video, I can tell I can even minimize that more. Still have to work on the hooks for my calendar. That'll be okay. I can work on that later. But in general, I'm just feeling so much happier. Thanks for coming along on this declutter with me. I'm going to attack the other areas in my dining room next. Please hit the like button if you want to see me clean up any more of my messy house.